Coach's Corner is brought to you by Capital Investment Company of Virginia.
Hello and welcome into another episode of Coach's Corner. I'm Mitch, Stewart, and this morning I'm joined by Rail Dawgs head coach Dan Bremner. Dan, thanks for joining me.
Of course. Thanks, Mitch.
Big weekend for your Rail Dawgs this past weekend. They get their first 3-3 sweep since February of 2018. Starting off with a home win against Knoxville, where you guys were able to hold on down the stretch. You go down to Fayetteville Friday night and pummel your rivals to the south, and then you hold on again in overtime with those heavy legs on Saturday night. How did that feel to get all 6 points out of 6 this past weekend?
Yeah, of course that's big. Any weekend to collecting points, whether it's early in the season, late in the season, it's keeping us up there in the standings. It was a great weekend, a real battle for our guys, and playing against two good teams and finding a way to get all 6 points is huge.
Austin Rodebush has been in net for all of those games, and then the additional win back before that on Black Friday during this 4-game winning streak. Had a goalie fight himself last Thursday night, the first that we've ever seen in a Rail Dawgs sweater. How important is it to have him in net, that consistency in the back, as he's playing some really good hockey for you all between the pipes?
Well, yeah, the fight was exciting, and like you said, though, we need him in the pipes. So, in the moment, I was a little nervous to see him out doing that, but got the crowd going, and the boys were able to hang on for that 3-2 win. And as far as him taking all 3 games, 3-3 really tough on the body on Saturday there. I had Ian, our assistant coach, talk to Rhodey about how he was feeling going into that game, and he told him it's his net and he wants it, and he showed up. I mean, the first we knew Fayetteville was going to have a push in that last game, and our legs were going to be a little tired in that first 10 minutes. They were all over us, and Rhodey made some huge saves. He was kind of peppered to start the game until we kind of found our legs. So he's been a rock back there, and we're going to need him to continue that.
One of the better developing stories I feel like on this team here at the start of this year has to be winger Dylan Radin. He gets cut, clears waivers, you bring him back on a PTO, you still want to see a little bit more of him. He once again clears waivers after his PTO runs out, and then it feels like ever since then he's just been a force for the Dawgs. Some really big goals that he scored, including that overtime winner this past Saturday. How nice is it to see him kind of persevere through that as he tries to find his role on this Dawgs team?
Yeah, it's been awesome. He's all passion, all heart. He works his butt off all the time, and he's got a knack for the net. He goes there nonstop. One of the things that you could see that he was making changes to his game as he's going through those tough times is more direct line, a little bit more tenacity, a little bit more just going straight to that net, going to bodies, one of the big things, and I talk to the guys all the time about this, I think one of the big things that helped me in my career was I always felt like my job was at risk, whether it was my 6th year when I was captain or my first year. I always felt that there was that threat, and that threat was really real for Radin through the first little while here, and then it should be. It's a good thing to have that inner accountability, and he's really shown, it's motivated him to find another level in his game.
You get Sean Leonard on the back line, who is always an important player for this team. He brings the physicality, he really brings that passion. But this past weekend, with no Matt O'Day still in the lineup, he really started producing offensively from that back end. A goal and 5 points over those 3 games. He was a +5 when he was on the ice. And a little Gordie Howe hat trick for him on Friday night. How important is it to have him kind of factoring into the offense when you lose a player like Matt O'Day on the back end?
Yeah, coming into this year, we were expecting Lenny to do big things for us, and to see him step into that role with Matty out is huge. We know what he can do physically. He's great with protecting the puck, moving the puck up the ice. But when he can chip in like that too, and then when, like you said, Matty O'Day out, when he gets back in here, looking for both of them to continue that production could be huge.
You've a little bit of a 2-part question for you here. Only one game for you this weekend. You get the Birmingham Bulls for the first time this year. This Saturday night will be Teddy Bear Toss night here at the Berglund Center, and the first Saturday home game that we've been able to have here at Berglund Center. So first part of this question is just kind of what are you seeing from Birmingham so far as you begin to scout them ahead of this weekend's game? And then the second part is what's your message to all those Dawgs fans out there as we finally get one of those Saturday night home games right here at the Doghouse?
Yeah, first, you can look at it like a lighter weekend with one game, but Birmingham's been very, very solid this year. They're electric up front. They got a lot of guys that can put the puck in the net. They got good, solid goaltending, good, solid D. They're a well-rounded team. They're going to be one of the top top 4 teams for sure this year. So as much as it's a lighter weekend with one game, it's going to be a test for our group that we've seen some adversity. We've been battling teams, but this is going to be a very good team, a one-off for us through the weekend. So the preparation is going to be huge. I'm expecting a really, really good game back and forth. And as far as the crowd coming in for our first Saturday game, all year long so far, the boys, they've been feeding off the energy. It's been great crowds, great energy. First Saturday, we're hoping really to pack this place. So come on out, get the guys going. They love to hear it, and it's a big factor for all of our home games.
Well, big start for you guys, just a little over a quarter of the way through the regular season. Dan, thanks so much for joining me.
Thanks, Mitch.
That's going to do it for this episode of Coach's Corner, and you heard Dan Bremner say it best. Come out and pack the Berglund Center this Saturday night. Teddy Bear Toss Night, sponsored by Gillespie Allstate and K92 as your Rail Yard Dogs host the Birmingham Bulls. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your Monday.
Coach's Corner is brought to you by Capital Investment Company of Virginia.